All right, so far, the if statements that you've created have only been able to check equality, which is a powerful thing to check, but we want a more nuanced approach when we're making decisions within our code. So we're going to use something called relational operators to give us more nuance. So relational operators. Relational operators. As the name suggests, it checks for the relationship, right? The relationship between two primitive types. So note, these are only for primitives. In our case, integer and doubles. Okay, so these can only check integers against integers and doubles against doubles. They can't check cross, but let's not cross the types yet. Okay, so only for primitives. So it can't check strings, it can't check circles or rectangles, only for primitives. This is big thing to note, okay? Only for primitives. And I'm going to write, actually I'm not even going to write not strings. I don't want you to even think of the word strings. Okay, here we go. Only for primitives. What are the relational operators? Well, think of your math class. So we've already checked out equals. Okay, we have less than, we have greater than, we have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and then we have a special one, not equal to. So these are our relational operators. And they allow us to check values in different ways. So for example, if I want to write a quick program that checks a student's grade, I can say if, let's go ahead and do this. Let's create a quick integer. So let's say if integer grade is, let's give it the value of 90. And we can check that. So if our grade is greater than or equal to 90, then we can say system.out, if I can spell system right, system.out.println, and we'll say an A. So we'll just simply print an A to the console. So now we can check if someone has an A, and we're going to check if it's greater than or equal to 90 to print out an A. So think about this if we had, really quick, if we traced this with changing this to an 89. So if we change in grade to 89, this would then evaluate, instead of evaluating to true, this would become false, right? And then we would skip out print A, and we would not be able to print this because 89 is not greater than or equal to 90. So in this case, we get true. I'm just going to say, well, this evaluates to true. So we'll step in, just to be a little clearer on the notes that we step in there. Let's talk about order of operations a little bit. So order of operations is that our arithmetic operations are before relational operators. So what do I mean by this? I mean if we have, let's say, an if statement where we're doing 4 times 5 plus 3 double equals 23. Well, then what do we get? This is a tricky one. Actually, let me not do this one because we haven't gone over order of operations of math yet. So let's say 4 times 5 double equals 20. So if 4 times 5 double equals 20, it's first going to do this math and it's going to evaluate it to 20, and then it is going to check equality here, and we're going to get that this whole thing is true. Let's talk about a word I've been using quite a bit here. Evaluates. Or evaluate. So evaluate is kind of a term we use in computer science to talk about the result of either a statement or a chunk of code. Sometimes evaluation can result in a primitive type or a number. Sometimes it can be the result of a Boolean expression. So this whole thing right here is called a Boolean expression. This is a Boolean expression. This is an arithmetic expression. So evaluates means the result of a Boolean expression, a arithmetic expression, or a method call. So this could be the evaluation of calling a method that returns some value, and that's where we get into return. So evaluates can have method calls along with Boolean expressions, arithmetic expressions, and that all evaluate to a particular value that we need to determine our code. And this is where our code traces come in, our T-bar code trace. So evaluate, it's not part of the AP exam, but it's a word that I'm going to use a lot in talking about if statements and understanding that it is the result of one of these three things or a combination of those three things. And I'll go ahead and say that, or a combination of them. So those are relational operators and the order of operations. The arithmetic operations come before our relational operators so that when we're evaluating an expression, as particularly a Boolean expression, we're going to do any math first on either side of the relational operator, and then we're going to do our relational operator and see if what the result is, whether it not evaluates to true or false. Okay, that is 3.2. Next, we're going to learn about else's. See you guys in the next one.